Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. As you know, BPSC Assistant Architect exam is going to happen this month, and this video is also related to that, where we are going to solve some of the most important questions on building material and construction. These questions will be related to the type of material, their property, application and techniques. Apart from this exam, these questions will help you in your GATE architecture or any type of government architecture and planning exam. So if you are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. My name is Rahul and you are watching Architecture and Planning with Rahul. Let's start today's first question. Which type of bond is weakest and most subject to damage or deformation of the wall? So the most weakest bond is stack bond. Therefore the correct answer of this question is option number D, stack bond. So this is the image of some common type of brick bonds. So in stack bond, bricks are laid one top of the other, so that not only the horizontal edge joints but also the vertical head joints are continuous, and because these joints are exactly on the top of each other, the bond becomes weak. Therefore this is the weakest bond. Running bond is the most common bond used in the construction technique, and it is also known as stretcher bond because only stretcher side is visible while laying this masonry. Let's move to the next question. A sedimentary composed of angular particles of gravel is called. So when the rock is composed of large angular broken fragments of mineral or rocks which are cemented together by fine grained matrix, then it is known as breccia. So the correct answer of this question is option number A, breccia. Breccia and conglomerate are very similar with only just one difference, and that difference is in breccia the particles are angular, whereas in conglomerates the particles are more regular or round in shape. This is the image of breccia, and here you can see that the particles are very pointed or angular, whereas in conglomerate the particles are more rounded. This is the image of sandstone, and this is how gravel stone looks like. So let's move to the next question. Sedimentary particles with a size range larger than 256 mm. So there are different names of sedimentary particles with different size, and here in this table you can see that the name of particles with different size range. So if the size exceeds more than 256 mm, then it is called boulders. So the correct answer of this question is option number B, boulders, because the size range is larger than 256 mm. If the particle size is between 64 to 256 mm, then it is known as cobble. Particle size between 2 mm to 64 mm is known as pebble, whereas clay are the most finest sedimentary particles with size range of less than 1 by 256 mm. So this is the increasing order of sedimentary particle sizes. Let's move to the next question. How many days does it take for standard Portland cement concrete to reach maximum strength? So Portland cement has a tendency to set very easily. These cements can be set in just one day, but to gain its maximum strength, it requires almost 28 days. Therefore, the correct answer is option number D, 28 days. Now, talking about the Portland cement, two components are important. First is tricalcium silicate, which is around 51% in Portland cement. The other is dicalcium silicate, which is around 24% in the Portland cement. Portland cement has adhesive and cohesive property, and it used to bind two materials. When it is added to sand with the help of water, it becomes mortar, which is widely used in brick masonry and construction. Let's move to the next question. Thermal resistivity of a material is the reciprocal of its. Thermal resistivity is the ability of a material to resist the flow of heat, and reciprocal or opposite of thermal resistivity is thermal conductivity. Therefore the correct answer is option number A, and the definition of thermal conductivity is the ability of material to conduct heat. Now let's understand this through a diagram. Conductivity and resistance are inversely proportional. So if at any point conductivity increases, the resistivity decreases. Let's move to the next question. The following spanning system may not be supported on masonry bearing walls. So masonry bearing walls are nothing but load bearing walls, and in load bearing walls all the loads of force is transferred through walls. Now let's get back to the question. So spanning system of precast concrete framing is not supported in masonry bearing walls. Therefore the correct answer of this question is option number A. Other than this, wood platform framing, heavy timber framing and structural steel framing, these three spanning system is supported by load bearing walls. Let's move to the next question. Which of the statement is true? So let's see all the options one by one. Terrazzo flooring may only be cast in place. This is a true statement. Second option is a building code contains off-street parking requirements. So off-street parking is not mentioned in building codes. Third statement is first cost and life cycle cost is the same thing. This is also a false statement because first cost is the cost of the product, including the material cost, labor cost and any other expenses for manufacturing the product. Fourth statement is, in general, it costs more to make a building more resistant to fire. This statement is also false. Therefore, the correct answer of this question is option number A. Terrazzo flooring may only be cast in place. So, terrazzo flooring or mosaic tile floorings are same, and this is the method of construction of terrazzo flooring. When it completed, we get this type of flooring in result. Let's move to the next question. Too much water causes the concrete to, when you add excessive amount of water to cement, it loses its strength, and when it dry, we get some similar result like this, because excessive amount of water in cement lowers the strength of cement, and because of this the cracks occurs. Therefore the correct answer of this question is option number D, reach a lower strength. In this question, most of the people generally gets confused in option B and D. But liquefaction in cement is only happens until the amount of water is present, and when it dry, concrete loses the strength. Let's move to the next question. A soil with a dark brown or black color is indicative of what? So this dark brown or black color often indicates that the soil has a high organic matter content. Therefore, the correct answer of this question is option number A. And this is how a soil generally looks when there is high content of organic matter in it. Whereas when excessive leaching happens in soil, it generally turns grey. And when there is high iron oxide strain in a soil, it turns yellow. Let's move to the next question. When a structure is built to withstand loads more than it normally would carry does, structure is built with a larger. So when a structure is built to carry more loads, then we can say that structure is built with a larger margin of safety. So the correct answer of this question is option number D, margin of safety. So for example, if there is a structure, let's say a building, and it carry 100 ton of load, but it is designed to take 120 ton due to safety of people or property. Then here we can say that 120 minus 100, which is 20 ton, is the margin of safety. Let's move to the next question. Egg cartons, food cans, bottles and pipes are example of. So all these are example of manufactured cell structure. Therefore the correct answer is option number A. Although these are manufactured cell structure, but the design is the biomimicry of animals or insects such as turtle, snail and sea cell. Biomimicry in architecture is nothing but taking the inspiration from natural or living organism. So some architecture example of cell structures are Sydney Opera House, Montreal Biosphere of Canada. Lee Sagrada Familia is exceptional example of shell structure. Millennium Dome and Louvre of Abu Dhabi. Let's move to the next question. Following is an example of composite material. So on the basis of their properties, materials are divided into almost 20 categories, and these are the types of material, and composite material is in one of those categories. It is a material type that is created by combining two or more constituent material with dissimilar chemical or physical property. Resulting material generally made to do a certain kind of job, and it will have the properties which is superior from the previous material. Out of the given option, reinforced concrete is a composite material. Therefore the correct answer is option number D. Reinforced concrete is obtained from embedding steel in concrete, in which steel provide the tensile strength and concrete provide the compressive strength. Let's move to the next question. Both concrete and dash are the primary contributors to what is known as the urban heat island effect. Firstly, let's understand what is urban heat island effect. So urban heat island effect is a phenomena of overheating of urban areas in comparison to the surrounding rural areas. So here in this figure, this line shows the temperature, and due to this phenomena, the temperature in urban areas are higher and in rural areas it is lower. And this generally happens because of the material widely used in urban areas. And apart from concrete, asphalt is the material which is widely used for the construction of roads, and it is one of the primary contributor to the urban heat island effect. Therefore the correct answer of this question is option number C, asphalt. Just like urban heat island effect, there is another phenomena called urban cool island effect, and it is exactly opposite to urban heat island effect. Asphalt is the mixture of bitumen, which is a binding material used to bind inert mineral such as sand, gravels and crushed stones. And these are some common uses of asphalt. It used to make roads, airport runways, parking lots, etc. Let's move to the next question. Concrete solidifies and hardens after mixing with water and placement due to chemical process known as. So concrete gets hard after mixing the water due to the process of hydration. So the correct answer of this question is option number B, hydration. So when there is no water in cement, the particles of cements are loosely packed, and when we add water, particles come together and started filling the gaps. When it completely hydrated, it gets solidified and becomes rock solid. And this complete process is known as hydration, which is the answer of this question. Let's move to the next question. Cement bags are generally available in. So cement bags are generally available in 50 kg pack. Therefore the correct answer of this question is option number B, 50 kg bags. Nowadays cements are also available in sizes like 25 kgs, 20 kgs, 10 kgs, 5 kgs, 2 kgs and also in 1 kg pack. But 50 kg is the most common and widely of mud used in construction is. So mud is the most common and oldest material used for building construction. It is used for making mud blocks. We can also use it as mortar, and sometimes our entire house can be made of mud. And mud, which is commonly used for construction, has a density of around 2000 kg per meter cube. Therefore the correct answer is option number C. Let's move to the next question. What is the percentage of water absorbed by first class brick by its weight is? So first class bricks are high quality bricks of uniform size, shape and color. They have sharp edges and free from cracks. Also, they produce a clear ringing sound when struck together. Now coming back to the question. So first class bricks are usually absorb not more than 50 to 20% of water. So the correct answer of this question is option number A, not more than 20%. This table shows some major type of bricks, their uses, composition, their manufacturing process and what are the shape they usually get. So majorly there are three types of bricks: first class bricks, second class bricks and third class bricks. They all have their different purpose, but first class bricks are typically used for load bearing structures and for exposed walls. Let's move to the next question. Crushing strength of first class brick. So crushing strength or compressive strength of first class brick is 105 kg per centimeter square. Therefore the correct answer is option number A, and it is equivalent to 10 to 15 Newton per millimeter square. Let's move to the next question. Type of glass used in windows to prevent heat loss is. So let's understand the purpose of each glass. So colored glass is used for decorative purpose. Frosted glass enhances the privacy. Processed glass are extremely strong glass and generally used in high wind load areas, whereas insulating glass is used to keep inside temperature as it is. Means they are used to prevent heat loss. Therefore the correct answer of this question is option number D, insulating glass. Let's move to the next question. The process of drying timber under more or less controlled condition is called. So there are several stages and process for manufacturing a timber, which starts from cutting the tree to transport to sawmills, where it cuts into the specific sizes. Then comes the process of seasoning, where the timbers are kept in a specific temperature. Then it goes to the various workshop to make various furniture. So this is the complete process of manufacturing a timber. Now coming back to the question, drying timber in a controlled temperature is known as seasoning. Therefore the correct answer is option number A, seasoning. Let's move to the next question. How much approximate time it takes to decompose paper? So a paper is a highly recyclable material and it usually gets decomposed in 10 to 30 days. Therefore the correct answer is option number C. Next question is, which of the following type of wood flooring is softest wood? And from the given option, maple, oak and pecan are the most common flooring woods, in which maple and oaks are medium density woods, whereas pecan is hardwood and pine is the softest wood. Which is the correct answer of this question? Let's move to the next question. CLC block in wall construction stand for. So full form of CLC block is cellular lightweight concrete. Therefore the correct answer of this question is option number A. So this CLC blocks are lightweight concrete block which have the bulk density of 750 to 950 kg per meter cube. Also, it have a good compressive strength of around 25 kg per centimeter square to 50 kg per centimeter square. And what are the advantages of CLC blocks? First property is thermal insulation, and that's why it is used in cold climate areas. Second is its fire rating. Third is lower water absorption. And fifth is its seismic resistant quality. And along with AAC block, CLC blocks is an excellent choice for building material. Both AAC block and CLC blocks have their own disadvantage and advantages. While AAC blocks are more widely used and have better availability, whereas CLC blocks are ideal for use in cold climate due to its excellent thermal insulation property. And the size of CLC block is 625 by 240 by 75 to 625 by 240 by 250. Let's move to the next question. Which of the following is commonly used as reinforcement? So the answer is mild steel, which is commonly used as reinforcement. Therefore, the correct answer is option number C. And there are several reasons why mild steel is used as reinforcement. First is its high ductility. Also, it can deform without losing its toughness. And also the Young's modulus of elasticity of steel in both tension and compression. Therefore, it gives highest strength to cost ratio. Let's move to the next question. Marble used in flooring is? So marble is a metamorphic rock. Therefore, the correct answer is option number C. And marble is formed when limestone gets metamorphosed. And what is the formation of metamorphic rock? So metamorphic rocks are formed by the transformation of igneous and sedimentary rocks due to the effect of heat and pressure under the surface of earth. Let's move to the next question. Toothing is a construction technique used in? Toothing is associated with brick masonry and RCC construction. So RCC construction is given in option. Therefore, the correct answer of this question is option number B. So this is the image of toothing, in which alternate course of brick masonry is extended by one brick. And what is the purpose of extending this brick? So first, it is used for confined masonry. Second, it is left like this because sometimes there will be some delay in construction due to unavailability of material, due to bad weather condition, or any kind of situation of delay. So this toothing helps in continue the work by allowing the proper joint between old wall with the new wall. This is new wall and this is the old wall. Let's move to the next question. Which is the following material when manufactured emit the highest CO2? So the correct answer of this question is option number D, cement. There are three major industries which emit the highest CO2 during the manufacturing process. Number one is cement industry, number two is steel industry, and number three is automobile industry. But cement production is responsible for a significant portion of global CO2 emission, and measures to reduce these emissions are very limited despite of its high demand in the market. Let's move to the next question. The type of brick masonry in which the alternate course of header and stretchers are distinctly seen. So let's see the images of all the given options. So in English bond, first course is of header and second course is of stretcher, and it repeats on alternate basis. but Flemish bond is mix of stretcher and header in a single course, whereas red trap bond is very similar to Flemish bond, but there is some gap is left between the two bricks which help in cooling the house during day, and it releases the heat during night, which makes the temperature hotter during the night. Spanish bond is also known as header bond because in Spanish bond only header side is visible. So only English bond is made of alternate courses of header and stretcher. Therefore the correct answer of this question is option number A, English bond. Let's move to the next question. The substance added to the plastic compound to improve the material property of the plastic. So to improve the plasticity of a material, plasticizers are added. It helps to improve the workability by reducing the setting time of cement. Therefore, the correct answer of this question is option number A, plasticizers. There is another material which used to improve the workability, and that is retarder. Unlike the plasticizers, retarders are added to increase the setting time. So retarders are opposite to plasticizers. Let's move to the next question. The type of masonry in which each stone is made to look prominent is called. So in rustication masonry type, each stone looks prominent and visible. These two are the example of rustication stone masonry. Therefore the correct answer of this question is option D, rustication. So friends, that's all in this video. This is the second part on building construction and material. I hope this video was helpful for you, and if you want more videos, comment us down below. Also please subscribe this channel for more updates and more videos on architecture and planning. मिलेंगे आपसे अगले वीडियो में. Until then, goodbye.